In my most recent video, I made a joke how a legend could beat a pilot, and it did not go over the way I intended. So that got me thinking, how strong is a pilot in the Titanfall universe? A lot of people were saying pilots were super soldiers, so today we're going to take a deep dive into the strength of a pilot. Before we get started, however, we are going to ignore real life physics because 1, other people have already done that, 2, I'm not that smart, and 3, the second we get into that, it quickly becomes apparent pilots could probably box a Titan and win. So this video will be based off of lore and what's presented in game. But before we jump into it, if you like this video, you should definitely subscribe for more. I do weekly Titanfall videos. We cover new Titanfall leaks. There's a new game in development right now that we covered. So if you want to watch that video, it'll be up here. And I'm hoping, we get enough subscribers, I'll be invited. They'll be like, hey, that Happy Slapper guy, he's such a Titanfall lore master. Let's invite him out and he can play this game or something. Or, they'll do a cool content creator program and they'll even retweet my tweets. But if you just want to talk to me about the new game and stay updated on all my videos and live streams, then you should definitely join my Discord server. It's going to be up here or in the description. I also live stream. That'll also be down there in the description as well. And again, if you join my Discord, you'll also be updated on all my streams. To start, we'll go over a pilot's training and the difference between an IMC and militia pilot. For the most part, pilot training doesn't differ too much between both factions. Both sides have their pilot pass a course to gain their pilot certification, and there are a number of ways that one can do that. Both sides primarily use simulations. The IMC uses Hammond Industries Pilot Combat Certification Simulator, which is a simulation that provides all the practice a pilot would need, including movement, weapon training, and ability use. The militia also uses the same simulation as they presumably acquired it off the black market. The militia also uses the Pilot's Gauntlet, another simulation. It wouldn't be far-fetched to assume that the IMC also uses the Gauntlet, as there is a real version available to the public, as seen in Octane's backstory where he frag boosted his legs off. That is aura. That is the most aura you can get in the Apex Legends universe. Oh, goddammit, I just did it again. I just made a funny joke and now people are going to get pissed at me in the comments. Okay, Titanfall universe, I'm sorry. At this point, you're probably heading to the comments to tell me about the 99% fatality rate pilot training. And you'd be kinda correct. There are live fire courses for IMC pilots, in particular the one on Gridiron, Training Ground, Whitehead. And as cool as a 99% fatality rate sounds, that's just not the case. It's a 98% fail rate and a 2% completion rate. That does not mean that the 98% that fail die. However, the course is notoriously rigorous. And that is one of the biggest differences between the IMC and militia. Despite the IMC being stretched thin financially, relatively speaking, they can still afford to send pilots through a 98% fail rate course. However, the militia cannot afford to lose pilots and will not send as many pilots through certification. And also, they have a higher completion percentage. And as far as we know, they also don't use live fire courses for their pilots. Now, to address the elephant in the room, Titanfall 3. Just kidding, we need to talk about pilots being super soldiers. In my last video, everybody kept saying that pilots are super soldiers. That is not true and has never been true. To continue this conversation, we have to separate lore and gameplay. The main reason people believe pilots are super soldiers is the fact that in-game we one-shot our enemies with our melee. However, this would also make grunts super soldiers. If you play Titanfall 2 on Master, you would know that grunts can also one-punch you. And if you watch my live stream of me playing it on Master, you would also know that I struggled with that for a little bit. So if everyone is special, no one is. As seen in Effect and Cause, Major Anderson gets into a close quarter combat engagement and is not able to kill a grunt with one punch. However, pilots often do augment themselves. For example, they will use special hearing aids called oral implants to help them hear better, but some augments are a bit more drastic. The most common ones you'll actually see in game. In the future, everybody has gone woke, and pilots will sometimes be selected for transhumanism operations, replacing their bodies with machines, simulacrums, or sometimes even specters. Titanfall 3, please bring back Spectre camo. That was one of the most goated things ever in Titanfall 1. All that being said, real pilots are trans allies. And for the most part, simulacrum bodies do not provide any sort of strength or traditional durability enhancements. Simulacrums are used for a few reasons, however. When a valuable pilot or person has died but their brain is still intact, the respective side will make them a simulacrum to keep them in the fight. Or if the pilot has a special ability that a human body cannot effectively wield, notably phase and stim pilots are both simulacrums. Humans cannot effectively use and travel through the void as there are adverse effects. Of course, there is the exception with Wraith, but she was heavily experimented on and has adverse effects. And stims also have a lot of side effects. Constant use of stims will completely destroy your internal organs and, just like many other drugs, will eventually kill you. Again, the exception is Octane, as he has a specially built dialysis machine that filters a stim out of his bloodstream. It is unknown whether you have to volunteer to become a simulacrum or not. Oftentimes, simulacrums will have their traumatic memories wiped, so usually they are unaware of their death and robotic body. They think they're still human. Even trying to tell them they are a simulacrum will not work. Their brain/programming will automatically filter it out. Until their ego retention program has somehow broken, see Revenant, or the simulacrums are told a special code that will also wake them up. It's also unknown if most pilots are put into simulacrum bodies and a few unlucky pilots are thrown into specter bodies. One likely theory is that before simulacrum bodies were widely available, they used specter bodies, but this theory is kind of thrown in the trash when we realize that Revenant is the first simulacrum and has been around for almost 200 years before the Frontier War. However, there is one final augmentation that you don't choose but are chosen for. A select few pilots can choose to undergo regeneration. To be regenerated, you have to prove to be a well-trained and lethal pilot. When you have proven your worth, you will receive a message from the advocate, whether you are militia or IMC or a third party. This message contains coordinates to an often abandoned-looking IMC facility, where you will be asked if you would like to regenerate. You can answer yes or no. You can't ask questions and you can't negotiate. The procedure is largely a mystery to us. We do know that pilots wake up feeling refreshed. All the years of battle damage and scars washed away. If you had a bad knee from wall running all the time, it'd be all better after the operation. However, your memory will be wiped. You'll forget your prowess with your arsenal, but the rate at which you learn and react to new information is increased. And as far as we know, we have not met a pilot who has undergone regeneration in lore. But it wouldn't be far-fetched to assume someone like Blisk might have undergone the procedure. It could explain how he's much older in Apex but still kicking around like he hasn't aged a day. Now that we've covered a pilot and their body, we can finally get into their arsenal. All pilots are equipped with armor and jump kits. Armor varies from pilot to pilot and faction to faction, but all pilots have a jump kit. Originally used in salvage operation, jump kits have been modified to be used in combat by pilots. This allows pilots to double jump and run along walls, while also allowing them to fall from any height due to rapid deceleration the jump kit produces right as they are about to hit the ground. But of course, the main weapon of the pilot is their Titan. Pilots are the most effective combatants with Titans. When piloting a Titan, they serve as an extension of the pilot's body. Depending on the pilot, they also have several variants of Titans. Highly trained and skilled militia pilots will have access to Vanguard Titans. Most, however, just operate the normal Titans seen in multiplayer. Now that we've gone over what a pilot is, their augmentations, and their arsenal, it's time to answer the big question. Can a legend win against a pilot? It depends. If the pilot has a Titan, the pilot will most likely win. But it also depends on who the pilot is going up against. For example, your average nameless pilot is not beating Ash in a fight. Same goes for Revenant. Other named pilots and legends like Cooper and Bangalore is a different story, but you can use the comments to argue your cases. I've already said way too much and people are probably still going to get mad at me either way. If you like this video, I appreciate you guys watching it and I hope you like it. I had to do a lot of research for this one because Titanfall lore is not the most clean. You know, it's a very spread out, but you know what? I did it because I thought it was a great idea after everybody was arguing in my comments last video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe for more. And again, join my Discord, watch my streams. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you so much. Peace out.